Shalom, all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone by Hashem Rakak Kodash. My name is Yakaba from Planting Hills Camp in Philly. His brother, elder brother, Manasseh-made, doing a lesson on why is the Apocrypha not in the Bible. All right, so along the same lines, the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible. When you actually look up the King James Bible Online.org, if you're not familiar with the site, they even have an app you can download on your phone, on Android at least anyway. It's called, let me pull it up real quick. It says KJV Apocrypha Bible. KJV Apocrypha Bible. KJV with Apocrypha. You can search for that. For Android, I'm not sure if the Apple iOS has it, but you can get it on your phone, and this is the one for the PC, and it's other ones also. But when you click on Apocrypha, it says, and it originally was a part of the Bible, what the people know as the Bible today. All right, but back then, when we were, in our during the Lord's time, during the time of early 100, 200, 300 AD, this was a part of the scriptures. All right, there was no difference. All right. So today, we use the term Apocrypha because in the late 1800s they took it out and made it separate. All right. It says the Apocrypha is a section of a book which was published in the original 1611 King James Bible. The apocryphal books were positioned between the Old Testament and New Testament, and they also contain maps. Apocrypha was part of the King James Bible for 274 years until being removed in 1885. All right. So, in other words, it's more information besides what's here. But during the Lord's time, we had the book of Second Ezra and First Ezra, and all these the books, the Maccabees, our history. All right. Because these were passed down by our ancestors. All right, the wisdom of Solomon. All right, and they cite different reasons of why it was taken out, and this says 274 years from 1885, if I'm reading it right. Tobit, Judith, Baruch. These books were written during their respective times. All right, by the historians of our people. All right, or the brothers that kept the records. All right, letters of Jeremiah, the prayer of Azariah, and they were handed down. All right, and our people had these books that were part of the scriptures. All right, but today they're because of Esau being the devil, the wording that's being used, and that's real witchcraft, not Tobit, the 6th chapter. All right, and Esau calls that witchcraft because he doesn't have any understanding. All right, this is 1885. It says many claim that the Apocrypha, and these are the reasons why they saying it was taken out. The Apocrypha is a part of the scriptures. All right, or these books are a part of our history, and they were passed down just like the book of Deuteronomy, Joshua, the Isaiah. Were handed down, were written down and copied and put into canon, meaning to be read in the houses of worship of our ancestors. Judith, Tobit, Esther, the rest of Esther, First Ezra, Second Ezra, the Maccabees, all our history. These were all were copied out from our respective historians and put in the scriptures for us to read. All right. And here's some of the reasons why they say, they took it out. They took certain books out of our scriptures that were handed down from our ancestors. All of these books were handed down from our ancestors. All right. It says many claim that the Apocrypha should have never been included in the first place, raising doubt about its validity and believing that it was not God-inspired. For instance, a reference about magic seems inconsistent with the rest of the Bible, this is not magic, all right, and it is consistent with the rest of the scriptures. All right, what about the Edomites going into slavery? Is that consistent with the rest of the scriptures? All right, about the other nations being our slaves, all right, and the Edomites being burnt up after a certain period of time. All right, but how about the Yahweh Shai ruling all the nations with a rod of iron? All right, how about the Lord judging the nations on their ethnicity? All right, is that consistent with the rest of the Bible? All right, they don't have a problem with that. All right, so Esau, he selectively chooses, what should be considered authentic and what should not be considered authentic. All right, and these books, they particularly don't like. All right, you read the book of Revelation, or read the book of Isaiah or Obadiah. All right, I would think you wouldn't like those books either. Well, really, the whole Bible is against the Edomites. All right, the whole Bible is against the Edomites, but particularly Esau doesn't like these books. All right, and he has his reasons. All right, and he uses Tobit as an excuse. And we'll go to Tobit. All right, and again, this is a good source. Or some points about the scriptures that Edomites took out. All right, and we're gonna go to Tobit first, because I've been hearing this for a while about the magic thing, which is not magic. It's just this is the way that the Lord chose to heal certain brothers. All right, there's nothing more than that. All right, there were various ways besides the Lord just laying His hands on you and touching you. Or you being prayed over. There's more ways that Israelites were healed beyond that. All right, and we want to give you a few accounts. All right, this is first Tobit, the 6th chapter. What they say here, you say, it was magic. So why would you believe in this magic? Tobit 6, 5 and 8. This is Tobit the 6th chapter. All right, and 5 and 8. So. All right. So the young man did as the angel commanded him, and when they had roasted the fish. So basically, what they want to see is they want the angel to come and just lay their hands on you, and then you're healed. All right. Or the Lord or the angel to say, "Your faith have made thee whole." That's what I gather they mean by the not being consistent with the rest of the scriptures, which. Using other means besides praying over a brother or a sister, or saying our faith have made thee whole. There are more accounts in the scriptures that brothers were healed or people were healed. All right, so we're gonna go through this verse. It says so this is what they say is magic. All right. And you commanded him, and they had roasted fish, and they did eat it, and they both went on their way till they drew near Ecbatane. All right. The young man said to the angel, "Brother Azarias, to what use is the heart and the liver and the gall of the fish?" All right, so they ate the fish, and he's saying, "Why do we have to eat this fish?" All right, and he said unto him, "Touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or evil spirit troubleth any, we must make a smoke thereof before the man or the woman, and partly shall, and the party shall be no more vexed." So they're saying that was magic. All right, that if you burn this type of fish with those with the liver and the gall, then that would drive evil spirits away. All right, For as for the gall, it is good for ointment in a man that hath whiteness in his eyes, and he shall be healed. Now, we don't have this knowledge today. All right, we have herbs and we have prayer. All right, but that's what they call magic, which is not magic. It's just the way that the Lord saw fit to command the angel to have the brother healed. All right, so we're gonna give you some accounts on brothers being healed, and it's beyond, or it's not the Lord laying the hands on you. All right, and then you just become whole. And say that faith, you just touch them and your faith made you whole. All right, that's what these pseudo Christians believe is all you need, which is a lie. All right, there are other means. All right, in addition to prayer, or I should say, including prayer, because you always pray. All right, you always pray to be healed. All right, we're never without prayer to Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai. All right, as it's written, pray without ceasing. All right? I mean you always pray. It don't mean you pray 24 hours, 7 days a week. It means that when you vex, pray. All right, when you get up and walk into the restroom, pray. All right, when you feel depressed, pray. When you feel happy, joyful spirit, you pray. All right, when you're about to do something, pray. All right, prayer is always before your mind. All right, in both in your mind and out of your mouth. Apocrypha, and this is what it means. It says, let's see what they say. The 14 books not considered canonical. All right, I mentioned canon earlier. I mean, remember, whatever's canon is determined by the authority. So the Edomites believe they're the authority on the scriptures. Remember, we're the authorities on the scriptures, because these books were handed down by our ancestors, by the brothers that were the scribes, the brothers that kept the records. They wrote down or copied out the letters from the prophets and from the assistants or the emissaries of the prophets. All right, because so the brother was considered a prophet. His letters were copied from his writings and put into canon. So what Esau is saying is, he's saying these books are not canon for various reasons, even though they were copied and handed down through the succession of our fathers. All right, included in the Septuagint and the Vulgate as part of the Old Testament, but usually omitted from the Protestant editions of the Bible. And again, these are who runs these religious organizations, these pseudo-Christians organizations, the Edomites. All right, they're doubtful authorship or authenticity, and that's another reason that they give about they don't consider it authentic. All right, because they can't find the original Hebrew manuscripts. It says right here. All right. Well, if they can't find them, that doesn't mean it's not authentic. I mean, if our ancestors were handing it down and it was being used, all right, then it's valid. It says the Bible for nearly 2,000 years before it was recently removed a little more than 100 years ago. Some say it was removed because of not finding the books in the original Hebrew manuscripts. So they had the original Hebrew manuscripts of, I guess, the what we call the New Testament, the Matthew, Revelation, Galatians, the Romans. They say that's Greek. When you look let's look this up. Matthew, Textus Receptus. That's not Hebrew. This should be original Hebrew right here. A morphological Greek New Testament. into the structure of things. This is Greek. See, when you really analyze what Esau, his doubts are, he don't know what the hell he's talking about, and his main objective is to spread disbelief, all right, and confusion, all right. But again, if you don't want to read the books of what they call the Apocrypha, that's on you. You're missing out on a wealth of information, all right, and you're not a prophet, all right, because the Lord. Well, he's not a prophet inspired by Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai. All right, because their argument is just being broken down line by line, that is of being false. All right. See that again. Where we at? Texas Receptus. Morphological Greek New Testament, GNT. I don't see Hebrew here, I see Greek here. All right, so where's the original Hebrew? We can look that up real quick. Christianity reference Textus Receptus, Latin receives text. It designates all the editions of the Greek text of the New Testament from the Novum Instrumentaldum. All right. Instrumentium Omni. All right. So that argument doesn't stand. All right. That argument does not stand. Translation based on original German Luther Bible. All right, text and Greek. All right. So we're gonna go to some scriptures. I can tobe it real quick. It says, so we can't anoint ourselves with ointment, and we can't use, things from the earth as the flesh of animals or herbs to heal ourselves, according to Esau's logic. All right, we didn't finish this off yet. Let's say Apocrypha, to hide away, hidden. Apo means away, to send away, to separate. All right, Apo in the Greek. All right. Hebrew is not there. It says that's Greek. And crypt, or kraphos, crypt, or hidden. Just send away hidden, or to separate hidden. All right. And the scripture that was cited was originally on the Apocrypha, why it was taken out, or the books of our history and prophecies were taken out because Esau particularly does not like those books. All right, which again, the book of Revelation is completely damning against the Edomites. Obadiah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Numbers, Deuteronomy, all right, all damning against the Edomites, but they particularly don't like those books, Second Ezra's, First Ezra's, Tobit. They don't like them. It's Revelation 22 and 15. For without are dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, murderers, idolaters, whosoever loveth to maketh a lie. Because Esau all about deception. All right, and this is only going to get the Israelites that don't. Whom the Lord didn't open their mind up to understand the truth, because to be a prophet you have to be inspired by the Lord. So if they weren't inspired to understand that Esau has taken out books and call them the Apocrypha, so you won't believe. If you don't understand that, then you haven't been inspired by the Lord. All right. You still got a lot of soul searching to do. All right. Because the Lord, and this is my belief, and it's the belief of the brothers, that the Lord made this a stumbling block to certain Israelites. All right. And some, Israelites that don't believe, some of them are going to be converted and understand that it's in line exactly with what people call the traditional Bible. All right. Or the Bible without those books. All those books were handed down to us by our ancestors. All right. This is Revelation 22:16. I have sent my angel to testify until you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. All right. And the Spirit and the bride say, come, and let him that heareth say, come, let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, the power shall add to him the plagues that are written in this book. All right. And the Apocrypha is in line directly with the prophecies in the books of Deuteronomy, the books of Numbers, Obadiah, this very book Revelation, or which we have a Greek version of it translated into English. All right. And if any man shall take away the words of the book of his prophecy, the power shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in the book. So Esau has taken away certain books, again, that were handed down from my ancestors, all right, and that are canon, but Esau just don't like the books. All right. So that's the curse that Esau is under, which he was cursed anyway, whether he did it or not. All right, he was always cursed. All right, here's some accounts of let's say what Esau believes is a non-traditional healing. Let's start with the Lord himself first. He said if you eat, fish and you put the ointment in your eye, that's witchcraft. But wait a minute, what about what the Lord did? It's this is John, the Gospel of John 9:3. It says Yahushua answered, neither had this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of the power should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh that no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground. All right. So I guess this is witchcraft also. The Lord spat on the ground. He used his saliva, in which he drank wine, he ate food, he drank water. He used his saliva and dirt and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. All right. So he spat. To spit. Eject saliva forcibly from one's mouth. So this isn't witchcraft, according to these people that don't believe in the Apocrypha, because they say witchcraft. You spit and dirt and you put it in the brother's eyes. All right. And he anointed the eyes of the blind with clay, and said unto him, go wash in the pool of which is by interpretation sent. All right, it says it right there. He went his way therefore and washed and came seeing. All right. The neighbor therefore, and they the neighbors therefore, and they which before had seeing him that he was blind, said, "Is not this he that sat and begged?" All right. So, and it goes about to tell you that, the Lord used dirt and spit and rubbed it in his eyes, and he washed himself in the pool, and he became seeing. And he started to see. All right. You have another account here. When Saul, it says, Saul, this is 1 Samuel 16:3. And then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brother, and the spirit of Yahweh came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah, but the spirit of Yahweh departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, "Behold, now an evil spirit from the power troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is cunning player on the harp." So wait a minute, wasn't they supposed to pray to the Lord and fast in order for the evil spirit to depart from Saul? So what Saul did wasn't evil when he called for a player of a harp. All right, but they might say this is witchcraft also. All right, who said they didn't pray to the Lord and fast and call for a prophet to lay hands on them. All right, they use this mean. You can burn incense and anoint yourself with oil. All right, and eat and take the herbs. All right, to mitigate and to get rid of evil spirits. Brothers practice these practices every single day. All right, you can burn the resin in the coal, or burn sweets or different odors. All right, in prayer, and that'll drive demons away. That'll drive evil spirits away. All right, and you can put on good music, and I'm not talking about rap music, or rock and roll or alternative rock. All right, who is a cunning player on a harp? And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from the power is upon thee, then he shall play with the harp, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of his servants, he said, Behold, I have seen the son of Jesse, a Bethlehemite, that is a cunning player. It's like that is cunning and playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and Yahweh is with them. Therefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread and a bottle of wine and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from Yahweh was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. All right. So according to these naysayers about these the scriptures that was taken from, or the books that were taken from our canon, all right, because we're the authorities on the scriptures, all right, not Esau. All right, Esau's a false prophet. All right, we're the real prophets. All right, the prophets that the Lord Yahweh Shai sent to propagate and to preach His word throughout the whole earth. All right, so that evil spirit departed from Saul by David playing the harp. All right, and David didn't lay his hands on him. All right. So traditionally, according to what these pseudo-Christians are saying, this would be a non-traditional methods of Israelite being healed. All right. Now, go back to Revelation. if any man, 22:19, if any man shall take away from the words of the book of the prophecy, the power shall take away his part out of the book of life. All right. Now we looked that word up. Take away. We have Hairio. We got Afario. Afario. Which means to take from, to take away, remove, to carry off. When you break the word down, we got Apo, Hario. We got Apo. Apo, which means to separate. All right. Physical distance, place, befalls, taken. Separation, to remove, out of, from, to take away. And we got Hairio, which means to choose, to vote, elect, and that's what they did. They voted and elected certain things to be separated from what they consider canonical or canon. All right, to take for oneself, to prefer, to choose by vote or elect. So they said he took it out. They chose certain books to be taken out of what they say is considered
Deuterocanonical.
Deuterocanonical. All right. They call them forming a secondary canon. All right. A portion of these books were called Deuterocanonical. All right. So we just disproved it. But their reasons of taking it out, they're not valid. The scriptures clearly are in line with these scriptures that they took out of the scriptures of the what they call canon. All right. The original Hebrew they can't find because they're hiding it. All right. If that's one of the reasons. And as for the magic part, it wasn't magic. It was just a way that the Lord wanted to heal certain brothers. All right, the angel could have came to him and just touched him and healed him, but he didn't want him to go through that. We've gone through certain things and ailments when we had to go to physicians for. All right. And again, here the Lord used spit and dirt and water from this pool, all right, to heal the brother, all right, along with his faith. All right. So the point is, the Apocrypha is a part of the original canon. All right. Let's look that up. All right, just Esau, he just doesn't like those particular books because they're especially damning, and the other books in the Bible, they're damning also. And just Esau's the devil. All right, he has to break all the laws in the scriptures. All right, he could have easily took out any other books also. He could have took out the book of Obadiah. He could have took out a chapter in book of Revelation and said, well, this is not compliant. The Lord is going to deliver everybody. He could have took out parts of Revelation, the second chapter. All right, but he didn't. He chose to take out those books. All right, canonical. All right, according to the order and according to or ordered by canon law, a general rule, principle. All right. Criterion by which something is judged. So pretty much they deem themselves the authorities on what should be read in the church. All right, and they provide certain evidence to say this is why it shouldn't be. We don't have the original Hebrew. Oh, this is witchcraft or magic. All right, I just read you two small accounts. There are plenty more. There are a few more. I'm not gonna say plenty more, but there are a few more instances where they may disagree with it being canon. All right. Let's see. Included in a list of sacred books officially accepted as genuine. So it's all. Remember, Esau is not the prophet. Esau is not the authority. The Lord's prophets are the authority. All right. Whom Yahushua raised up to preach his word in his name. All right, and his name is Yahushua. All right, this is why we don't use the word Jesus Christ, because see, the prophets, they actually go into the Hebrew, they go into the Greek, and they find out, okay, well, it goes back to the Hebrew. Now, even if we're reading it in Greek or English or Spanish or Latin, we know it goes back to the original, back to the Hebrew. All right, and we know that certain Israelite foreigners didn't speak Hebrew. All right, some of them were bilingual, some of them were trilingual. All right, and certain things, if you were writing to a church that was all they spoke was Greek, then you would write the letter in Greek. If they were a bilingual church, all right, you would write it in both languages, all right, or in the language that was most popular. All right. Again, we go back to Textus Receptus. This is the New Testament, Textus Receptus, and we have here the Morphological Greek New Testament, GNT, Greek New Testament. All right, so Esau's a liar. All right, let's go to one more scripture. All right, let's go to which again, this is links up directly with the book of Obadiah, the book of Numbers, the book of Deuteronomy, 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then said I, and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or what shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born unto him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, that links up directly with the book of Genesis. All right, let's get Genesis, 25th chapter. All right. It's Genesis 25 and 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh, and Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right, the elder, which is Esau, shall serve Jacob. All right, Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And when her days to be fulfilled were to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold the heel of Slakia. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Yaquab, or Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when he bare them. All right, 60 years old. 60 years old, 80. Let's just double check that. So the heel grabbing, all right, is continued in the 2nd Ezra 6 and 7, or 6 and what? Yeah, 6 and 7, 6 and 8, 6, 9, 6. We got 7, 8, 9. 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we got Shasham, 60. He was 60 years old. Now, you think that Rebecca was 60 years old when she bare those children to Isaac? Rebecca. All right. Yeah, Rebecca. You think she was 60? I don't think so. Rebecca had to be in her 20s, if not younger. All right. The heel, Esau's heel was grabbed. All right, and he took hold of Esau's heel. All right. And it links up directly with 2nd Ezra 6. And 8. All right, and see right here. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. I can go on and on. How about this? We just put in a star. Shall smite Moab, and that's in Numbers. Let's put in star and Moab and see what we get. Let's see Numbers. So maybe this shouldn't be a part of canon, because I tell you that the Edomites are going to be a possession. Numbers 24 and 17, and Christ came to save everybody. So maybe they should have took this out. It's Numbers 24 and 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. All right. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth in the city. All right. So who's going to be ruling in the kingdom that's going to come? The Israelites under Yahushua, under the Lord. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Okay, so the Edomites became the first of the nations when they got the technology. All right, they went up into space and built a space station. They lie and say they went to Mars and the moon. All right, and don't be surprised if Esau try to say that he's doing a manned mission to Mars. Don't be surprised if Esau say that. All right, pretty soon. All right. So the Edomites are going to be destroyed. All right, they became the first of the nations when they took over the earth, starting with the Roman Empire. All right, and their seed line continued. It didn't disappear. The Romans are the Edomites. All right. So I think I pretty much proved my point. The Apocrypha is part of the canon. All right. All right. The authorities are the Lord's prophets. All right, not the Edomite Christian church. All right. They're the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. They don't get to decide what's canon and what's not canon or canonical. All right. All right. So hope you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.